Hello everyone and welcome to the CEV Champions League drawing of lots. With the group stages complete, there are now just 8 teams remaining in the men's and women's competition respectively, and we're going to find out who will be facing who as the countdown to the super finals on the 16th of May at the Max Schmeling Halle in Berlin begins. We have former champions and newcomers alike on both the men's and women's side of the draw. 2 legs in the quarterfinals, 2 legs in the semi-finals, and a straight shootout for that Champions League trophy and the gold medal. As I said, a very warm welcome wherever you are in the world. You join us at the home of European volleyball here in Luxembourg, and we've got a room full of distinguished guests, and we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for making the journey to see who your teams will be facing in the latter stages of this competition. The draw itself is pretty straightforward, but there are a few rules we need to get our heads around. So before we get underway, let's find out how the draw itself is going to work.
There are 8 teams qualified to the CEV Champions League Volley 2020 quarterfinals in both the men's and women's competitions. For both draws, these 8 teams are split into 2 cups. Cup 1 has the 4 best first-place teams when comparing their respective results in their given pool. Cup 2 has the 5th first-place team, along with the 3 second-place teams with the best results. For both draws, we will start from the top and work down to the bottom. First drawing the 4 teams from Cup 2, then those from Cup 1. As the best performing teams in the pools, the teams in Cup 1 will be positioned second so that they play the return match at home. Teams that played against each other in the 4th round cannot be drawn against each other in the quarterfinals, meaning that if the team drawn from Cup 1 was in the same pool as the team already placed from Cup 2, the team from Cup 1 will be moved into the next slot, and another ball will be drawn. If it is the last pool where there is a clash, then the last 2 teams are switched with each other. Following each quarterfinal draw, there will be subsequent draws to determine the home and away status of teams in the semi-finals and super final.
And there we have it, the 8 teams left in the competition, split into 2 pots. However, we do need somebody to oversee it all, so we welcome the scientist. Let's call him CEV Press Officer Federico. Great to have you here, and great to have someone who definitely knows what they're talking about as well. But 8 teams in the women's competition, 8 very, very good teams as well. It's exciting times.
Thank you very much, Dave. Yes, it is a very exciting time. I mean, not just for those who are here in the room, but also those following from afar. And I believe even not just for the teams that are still in the competition, but for all volleyball fans from across the globe. So we just get started with the women's drawing of lots, and it's an interesting coincidence. We do have the very same 8 teams that had made it to the quarterfinals last year. Well,
they're the 8 best teams for a reason, and very shortly we'll be finding out who will be playing who in the quarterfinals. But before that, let's take a closer look at those 8 teams. Created their way through the difficult group stage and find themselves in the two cups for the quarter-final draw. Cup 2 will be drawn first, followed by the seeded teams in Cup number 1. So let's take the chance now to have a look at the two cups and also welcome Ellen Peters, who is going to be drawing the balls. Did such a good job last year that we welcomed you and invited you back, so thank you very much, Ellen. These are the two cups. In Cup 2, to be drawn out first, we have Dinamo Moscow, Suvino del Bene Scandici, Fenerbahce Opet Istanbul and Allianz MTV Stuttgart. They will complete the first part of the draw. Then they will be joined by one of the seeded teams from Cup number 1. The Eczacıbaşı Vitra Istanbul, Carraro e Moco Conegliano, Vakif Bank Istanbul and Igor Gorgonzola Novara. Those are the 8 teams. So, Ellen, Federica, without further ado, shall we get the draw underway?
Yes, let's get this done. And we start, as you said, Dave, with Cup number 2. So with the teams that are now going to play the first of the 2 quarterfinal matches at home. So, Ellen, please. That's a little bit tough to open.
Please don't crack them like an egg, though, because they were a gift. So.
Yeah. Maybe you can help, Dave.
Oh, goodness me. That is a lot of pressure on me, but I will do my best. Okay.
Oh.
There we go. Team number 1. Ta-da! Thank you.
So that is the team that takes the first spot on our brackets. So right at the top of the bracket, and this is Fenerbahce Opet Istanbul of Turkey.
Runners-up in Pool A, they've only dropped sets to Eczacıbaşı so far. Champions League winners way back in 2012. They are the first out of the jar. Let's have the second team, please.
Maybe you can help again, Dave.
Oh, goodness me. You've just passed the responsibility on, haven't you? Okay, the second team out will be.
There you go. That is the team of Dinamo Moscow of Russia.
Top of the most competitive group, 1-4, lost 2. Beat RC Khan on Tuesday to guarantee their qualification.
Yes, they are multiple winners of the former Champions Cup, Dave, but they are yet to take their first title in what is now known as the Champions League.
Maybe this will be the first year. Okay, 2 teams out. We move on to the lower half of the draw. Easy.
The next team to be drawn is Savino del Bene Scandici of Italy.
Runners-up in Pool B, 1-5, lost 1, actually beat Vakif Bank in Istanbul, so they're going to be a tough draw for anybody.
Yeah, and this is their the second participation in the Champions League, and again they have made it to the quarterfinals.
So the final team out.
That is the team of Germany, Allianz MTV Stuttgart.
Very, very popular to see that they're actually in the draw, but they've had a great couple of seasons, finding themselves in the quarterfinal for the second time.
Yeah, and they made history last year for Germany. They became the first women's team from Germany to reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So, and they are there again. Congratulations.
History repeats itself. So just to run down then, the first team out, Fenerbahce Opet Istanbul, Dinamo Moscow second, Suvino del Bene Scandici third, and Allianz MTV Stuttgart fourth. They will be playing the first leg of their quarterfinals at home. These are the 4 teams now in Cup number 1, the seeded teams, the winners of their group, the highest achievers so far in this year's Champions League. So let's find out who will be visiting Fenerbahce in the first quarterfinal.
And this is where we have to pay a little bit of attention, because as the video we displayed, I mean, we can't have 2 teams from the same pool that will be playing against each other in the quarterfinals. These can happen obviously in the semifinals, but not at this next stage of the competition. So, this is the team to play against Fenerbahce Opet Istanbul. And it is Igor Gorgonzola Novara of Italy, the defending champions.
Despite losing to Stuttgart, they topped Pool A, and that is a massive fixture. Fenerbahce versus Igor Gorgonzola Novara is the first quarterfinal. What is the second? have to grease those next time.
This is the one to play against Dinamo Moscow, and it is Vakifbank Istanbul of Turkey.
Well, they are arguably the most successful Champions League team of the modern era. 4-time champions, and they will be travelling to Russia in the quarter-final. Who will be facing Savino Del Bene Scandici?
This is the team of Eczacıbaşı Vitra Istanbul of Turkey.
Top of their pool, they won 6 from 6. Another fantastic fixture. And the final one?
And the ones to play Allianz MTV Stuttgart are the reigning club world champions Carraro Imoco Conegliano of Italy.
Well, they've had a lot of success, but not quite the top prize. 2 silvers and a bronze medal in the last 3 Champions League. They will be facing the history makers from Germany. Before we move on to the order of the semi-finals, then let's just run down those quarter-finals one last time. The first will be Fenerbahce Opet Istanbul versus Igor Gorgonzola Novara. That will be the first of the semi-finals. The first leg in Istanbul, then Dinamo Moscow versus Vakifbank Istanbul, Savino Del Bene Scandici against Eczacıbaşı Vitra Istanbul, and Allianz MTV Stuttgart against Carraro Imoco Conegliano. Your thoughts on that draw? Some really exciting fixtures.
Yes, very much so, Dave. Actually, it did run very smoothly. We had no clashes with teams coming from the same pool. And of course, this Turkish-Italian rivalry is going to continue. And we look forward also to the 2 clashes between Dinamo Moscow and Vakifbank. And I believe, it's interesting to see, how Stuttgart will be performing against a team like Conegliano that have lost, just 1 match across all competitions this season.
Well, the whole point of this competition is to fit the best against the best. And even though we've got the same 8 teams as this time last season, there are still plenty of fresh challenges for everybody involved. Before we move into the men's draw, we're going to see this one all the way through to the final. So we have the order of the quarterfinals, who will be home and who will be away. Now we're going to find out who will be at home in the first leg of the semi-finals. Federico.
Yes, thank you very much, Dave. So we have to draw, in order to define who plays the first semi-final at home and the second at their home. So we start with the upper part of the bracket, and we have the quarterfinals 1 and 2. So the first one to be drawn will be playing the first semi-final at home at the end of March. Okay. Ellen, please. So the ones to play the first semi-final at home will be the winners of quarterfinal 2, so the one between Dinamo Moscow and Vakifbank Istanbul.
They will be at home in the first leg of their
Yes,
semi-final.
that is correct, at the end of March. And now we see who is going to host the second round of the semi-finals. That is quite clear. And these are the eventual winners of quarterfinal 1, so the one featuring Fenerbahce and the defending champions of Novara.
So just to confirm, Dinamo Moscow or Vakifbank Istanbul at home in the first leg, Fenerbahce Opet Istanbul or Igor Gorgonzola Novara at home in the second leg. And we move on to the bottom part of the draw.
Yes. So now we have to draw the winners of the quarterfinals 3 and 4. Ellen, please. And again, it is important because the ones hosting the second semi-final at home would eventually play the golden set if there is any golden set in front of their fans. So the ones to host the first match will be the winners of quarterfinal 3, so the one featuring Scandici and Eczacıbaşı.
Mm-hmm. And finally?
Finally, yeah. The second of the 2 semi-finals will be hosted by the eventual winners of quarterfinal 4, so the one featuring Allianz MTV Stuttgart and Carraro Imoco Conegliano.
So confirmation of the semi-final draw. And now we must do the final. Who will be top billing? Who will be announced first at the Max Schmeling-Halle? It seems like a long way away, but it is on the 16th of May. If you're watching at home, tickets are still available, so make sure you're a part of that. The event is incredible, but let's find out who will be drawn out first.
Yeah, just to make it clear, there is no real home team because the venue will be neutral in Berlin, but actually we have to define the status of the two teams as home and away. This is important for technical reasons, for the training sessions, and also to see who is going to take to the court first and who will be the first one to be introduced to the fans. So, Ellen, please. Obviously, these are the eventual winners of the two semifinals. So, the home team, so to speak, for the event in Berlin will be the winner of semifinal 1. So coming from the top part of the bracket. It is still too early, of course, to say who this is going to be. And the away team at the superfinals at the Max-Schmeling-Halle will be the eventual winners of the second semifinal. So this is going to be the away team for the most anticipated match of the year.
Certainly is. Well, let's leave that graphic on screen now so we can once again remind you of the women's quarterfinals. They'll be played between the 3rd and the 5th of March this year, with the second legs the following week. And Fenerbahce Opet Istanbul against Igor Gorgonzola Novara is quarterfinal 1. Dinamo Moscow versus Vakif Bank Istanbul, quarterfinal 2. Savino del Bene Scandici against Eczacıbaşı Vitra Istanbul, quarterfinal 3. And Allianz Suntivish Stuttgart against A Carraro Imoco Conegliano is quarter-final 4 for mouth-watering contest that you will be able to watch live on Euro Volley TV, and we very much look forward to you joining us for those. Before we move on to the men's draw, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Ellen. Great job again. We might invite you back next year too. And we will shortly be moving on to the men's draw. 2 former champions and 8 world-class teams will go head-to-head on the same dates, the 3rd to the 5th of March this year. Let's have a closer look at who are the men's quarter-finalists. Joining us for the men's draw, we have Elena Godina, world champion, European champion, Olympic medalist, and now advisor to the CEO at Dinamo Moscow. You've just drawn Vakif Bank in the quarterfinals. How do you feel about that?
That's, I think, the strongest team that we could meet. But also last year we played with them against in the quarterfinals, and once we won. So maybe the luck will be with us also this year.
Well, we wish you all the very best of luck with that. But now let's get on with the men's competition. It's the same format. We have the unseeded teams in Cup 2 and we have the seeded teams in Cup 1. So let's take a look at those cups now. Who will be drawn first in the men's competition? In Cup 2, we have Fakel Nuri Uringoy, we have Kuzbas Kemerovo, we have Kanak Roselari and Trentino Itas. So teams from all over Europe. Then those seeded teams that will be coming out second. We have Zaksa Kedzirzyn Kozle, Sirsekoma Manini Perugia, Kucini Lube Civitanova and Jasewski Vegieł. So plenty of strong teams, just like the women's competition. Federico, same format. We're going to empty cup number 2 first. Shall we get this show on the road?
Yes, exactly the very same procedure that we followed for the women, for the women's competition. So, Elena, please, we start with Cup 2, and these 4 teams will be playing the first of the quarterfinal matches at home.
Okay.
So the first one out of, I apologize for the noise. It is the team of Belgium, Knack Roeselare. They qualified last night only, so that was quite in a dramatic fashion. So they take their spot at the top of the bracket in the men's quarterfinals.
Yeah, real battle with Friedrichshafen to qualify. 8-time national champions. Great to have them in the quarterfinals. Who is next?
Thank you, Jelena.
An expert already.
So the next team is Trentino Itas of Italy, 3-time winners of the Champions League.
3 times in a row as well, way back in 2011. Runners-up in Pool A. Their only defeat so far coming to Lube in this year's competition.
So we move now on to the lower part of the bracket. And this is the Russian team of Fakel Nove Urengoy, rookies in the competition, and they have immediately reached the quarterfinals. So this is a very good first appearance in Europe's Premier Club competition.
Picked up some form as well. They lost their opening fixture but won 5 in a row since then. And the final team out of Cup number 2.
Thanks, Jelena. And this is the second of the 2 Russian teams, Kuzbas Kemerovo. Also rookies in the competition, and they also have reached the quarterfinals at their very first attempt.
And the national champions as well. Runners-up in their pool. It was a shock defeat that perhaps cost them top spot, but again, they are a very difficult draw for anybody. So, Cup number 2 is empty. You can see all of the teams that will be home in the first leg on your screens right now. Who will be joining them on the road in the first leg of the quarter-final? Let's empty Cup number 1.
Yes, and again we have to pay attention to avoid clashes between 2 teams coming from the same pool, as we did when we were drawing the women's quarterfinals. So Jelena, please, it's your turn.
Another direction.
Thank you. So this is the team of Cucine Lube Civitanova of Italy, will be playing against Knack Roeselare of Belgium.
Very successful team. Bronze medals in 2016 and 17, runners-up in 2018, defending champions, and they will be visiting Belgium in their quarter-final. Who will be facing Trentino?
This is the Polish team of Jastrzębski Węgiel, the winners of Pool C, Dave, and as all of the teams that we are drawing right now, they will be hosting the second of the quarterfinal matches at their home.
Interestingly, they lost their game last night, but they still got top spot. They beat Zenit Kazan home and away, and that away victory was one for the ages, where they came back from 14-9 down in the decider. So they have definitely got the bit between their teeth when it comes to those close games. Who's next?
Yeah, we carry on with the lower part of the bracket. Jelena, please. Thank you. So this is the opponent of Fakel Nove Urengoy, and it is the Italian team of Sirsicoma Monini Perugia.
Dropped only 4 sets in Pool D, 6 wins out of 6. Beaten finalists back in 2017 and a bronze medal in 2018.
Yes, they will be first traveling a long way to Nove Urengoy before then they host the second match at their very home. So good luck to the 2 teams.
And finally?
This will be a great adventure to the North Pole.
Yes, Jelena, you're right. I mean, this is really a very specific area as a destination where to travel to. Finally, we have the opponent for Kuzbas Kemerovo of Russia, and this is the Polish team of Zaksa Kędzierzyn-Koźle. They had 6 wins in a row in the pool phase of the competition, so this is going to be a hard nut to crack even for the Russians.
Yes, real form team as well. Domestic treble back in Poland, and they're yet to drop a set in this season's Champions League. So let's have a rundown of those quarterfinals then. The teams on the left will be at home first. We have Canuck Rosolare against Ciucini Lube Civitanova, Trentino Itas against Jastrzębski Węgiel, then Fakel Novi Oręgoj against Sirsykoma Monini Perugia, and finally Kuzbas Kemerovo against Zaksa Kędzierzyn Kozlej. Quarterfinals, again, 3rd to the 5th of March, they will be played. The second legs will be the week after, exactly the same time as the women's competition. But just as the women's competition, we're going to follow this one all the way through to the finals. So let's take a look next at who will be playing their semi-finals at home in the first leg.
Yes, so we started with the upper part of the bracket, so the two quarterfinals, number 1 and number 2. So Jelena, please help us define who is going to host the home match, the first of the two matches. This was folded very nicely. So this is the winner of quarterfinal 2. So the one featuring Trentino and Jastrzębski Węgiel. So this one team will be hosting the first semi-final at their home.
Let's just confirm that the correct balls are in place.
And it is indeed the eventual winners of quarterfinal 1, the one featuring Canuck Rosolare and Ciucini Lube Civitanova. They will be hosting the second semi-final at home.
So they will be travelling first and hosting second. On to the lower part of the draw then, the second semi-final between the winners of quarterfinal 3 and quarterfinal 4. Please, Elena, let us know who will be at home first.
There we go. So to host the first of the two semi-finals will be the eventual winners of quarterfinal 4, the one featuring Kuzbas Kemerovo and Zaksa Kędzierzyn Kozlej.
And let's just confirm.
And then to host the second of the two semi-finals will be the eventual winners of quarterfinal 3. Again, we have a Russian team, Fakel Novi Oręgoj and Sirsykoma Monini Perugia of Italy.
One remaining draw then, who will be home in the final, but we'll just confirm that the winner of Trentino and Jastrzębski Węgiel will be at home first against either Canuck Rosolare or Ciucini Lube Civitanova, and then in the lower half of the draw, Kuzbas Kemerovo or Zaksa Kędzierzyn Kozlej will be at home in the first leg against Fakel Novi Oręgoj or Sirsykoma Monini Perugia. The final, it is the last draw.
Yeah, we'll look further ahead. Dave, this is about the 16th of May, the day that all volleyball fans are already looking forward to, I believe. So we define who is going to be the home team of this exciting fixture in Berlin. Jelena, please.
This team will have their name first on the poster. They will be announced first. They'll have the home dressing room, their pick of the training sessions, and they will be...
And these are the winners of semi-final 2, so coming from the lower part of the bracket, where we have two Russian teams, one from Poland and one from Italy.
And the final ball to be drawn.
So then the so-called away team, if we can put it this way, will be the winner of semi-final 1, so coming from the top part of the bracket, where we have, again, quite some elite teams. We do have even the defending champions of Lube, plus Trentino, Jastrzębski and Canuck Rosolare, so plenty to look forward to.
So the journey on the road to Berlin is decided, but we're not entirely sure of the route yet. We will be travelling all over Europe, bringing you the very best action. Federico, Elena, thank you very much. Before we say goodbye, I'd like to take this opportunity to talk to you about One Day More for Volleyball. This draw here, the CEV drawing of lots for the quarterfinals, has been all about the elites, the best of the best, and that is what we're going to be seeing. However, One Day More for Volleyball is on the 29th of February 2020, and we want you to get involved. We want you to get out, we want you to play volleyball, we want to break records, we want to set the record for the most people to be out playing volleyball in one day. We've done it once already, but we want 2020 to be bigger and better than ever. The website to find out more is onedaymoreforvolleyball.cev.eu. The hashtag to use when you're posting on Twitter and Instagram with all your skills challenges is hashtag onedaymoreforvolleyball. And I tell you what, I might post my skills video later on, but maybe I shouldn't because it's a little bit embarrassing. Thankfully, I'm a lot better at talking about volleyball than actually doing it. But that's one day more for volleyball. Make sure you get involved on the 29th of this month. That's all from Luxembourg. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Just to get those dates in the diary, the quarterfinals are on the 3rd and the 5th of March for the first legs, then the week later for the second legs. If you want to be reminded of any of this information, make sure you head over to cev.eu or follow them on all the socials. That's the best place to get all of the exclusive content, both on match days and outside of that. Not just with CEV Champions League, but any indoor, beach or snow volleyball, because the snow volleyball finals are coming up in Wagrain in the not too distant future as well. The super finals are on the 16th of May. They return to the Max Schmeling-Halle. We've already seen what an incredible venue it is, both for the super finals and the men's Olympic qualifiers. It's not to be missed. If you can't make it, you will miss out, but you can follow all of the action on eurovolley.tv. Thank you for joining us, both our distinguished guests here and you, wherever you've been watching at home. We look forward to welcoming you back when the quarterfinals get underway at the start of next month. Until then, goodbye.